Um, Hello, here's Daniel for the Art of Being a Gentleman project. And today we have wonderful guests from overseas, from India. Nikhil, thank you for being here. And,
Absolutely, Daniel. Thank you. Thank you for creating this space for us.
and thank you for taking the time. And I want to ask you to give us a short intro about you in a nutshell. Who are you?
Hmm. Who am I? I'm so many things, but what I am is I'm a loving, dutiful, responsible husband to my wife Sasha, and I'm the best father and role model to my beautiful, loving, gorgeous daughter Naira.
Hmm.
And I'm the best son a mother and father can ask for to my parents, Asha and Vinod. And who I am to my brother is I'm a pillar of strength, clarity, boldness, and success for him. To my loving brother Amol, and I take all of that to anyone I come in touch with, anyone I serve through my coaching practice, any human being speak to. I do my best to bring that to people. But
Hmm.
on the other side, yeah, I'm Nikhil. I'm based in New Delhi, India, and yeah, I play all these roles in life, and I'm always on the path to work on myself, work on my mind, understand my mind, and keep growing and expanding and living into possibility.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this this title, The Art of Being a Gentleman. It came to me, and I wonder what is resonating when you hear this title? What is getting alive in you? You know?
Ah, the first time I read those words, your play on gentleman, right? Like by putting an asterisk, it just, it's not something that I can define. I felt it.
Ah, ah,
Right? It was a felt experience just reading the words, the way you wrote it when I first saw it on WhatsApp. And gentleman sits in my body, right? It
mm,
speaks to me about, the gentleness of life.
mm,
And it speaks for me about, a man can be gentle and is gentle,
yeah,
right? But the world, sort of the system, the way it works, the matrix, whatever you call it, a man is supposed to be strong, doesn't cry, doesn't, doesn't have, he has to carry the weight of responsibility alone. I can't ask for help, like all these things, right? Like that I heard about being a man, and I've seen other men also witness that or and share about that, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So that just reading those words like that just took away all of that for me,
yeah, wow.
right? It was just a reminder of, that I as a man can
Mm,
be gentle. I am gentle,
yeah,
and that doesn't mean that I'm is always gentle towards others, but I can be towards myself.
mm,
And with that, I open myself up to beautiful conversations like the one we are creating today, and places where I can be with other men and have gentle conversations, have real conversations rather than the mask conversations.
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, resonates. And
Yeah.
it's really wonderful because what do you call it, asterisk? What do I put in between? How's this
Yeah,
word
asterisk.
phrase?
Yeah, yeah,
Asterisk, okay.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and it just came to me, and a lot of people were having the same. It's like, how you did this to this word, it made it so much more of something, this gentle and man, and there's this in between space of a star or of
Mm,
possibilities of whatever it represents. And so I was like, really, all right, nice. something something really beautiful in a word, to experience. So yeah, and there had been a lot of different conversations about this topic, and they all go
mm,
in different directions. And I'm so blessed in a way of wow, there's such a universe to experience this gentleman or gentleness. For
mm,
everyone, it means something different, and everything is super valuable for everyone else to share and to have insights and conversations about it and exploration spaces. Yeah, when men
Yeah.
come together and go into this space of, okay, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? What does it mean for somebody else? Yeah,
Yeah. I love that. Love that creation.
yeah. So how would your wife describe you? Like, what would your wife
Oh.
tell maybe about you? Where is Nikhil a gentleman? What is his gentleman attitude? What would she say?
That's, she should be answering this question, and she
She will.
should
I will
would
ask her. I will ask the wife of gentleman to answer this question. This is
yeah.
my next step.
Yeah, I love it. What would she say? She would say I'm loving and kind, that
Mm.
I do my best to give her the space of who she wants to be and how she wants to show up in the world.
Yeah.
She would say that I'm an incredible father, that
Mm.
I'm always there for our daughter,
Yeah.
and I'm constantly doing the work that needs to be done, not just to take her to school and pick her up and all those things, but it's just the work that needs to be done to grow up with her as she grows up, or unlearn things, right? So I do my best. And she will
Mm.
also say that this man sometimes, gets too much in his head and gets angry and frustrated easily. She will also say sometimes, he doesn't listen. Um, so all of it, right? All of it
Mm.
is there. Both sides of me are true for her.
Yeah.
But what she'll say is that over the last 12 years since we've been married, nearly 12 years, and we've been together for now 13 years,
Mm.
and in November it'll be 12 years of marriage. She'll say that, we are absolutely learning the art constantly of building our dream lives together, building our lives together. It's not just one doing the work and the other one is not doing. It's a true partnership.
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this question, I never asked another conversation this before, you know.
Yeah.
And yesterday it came because somebody was asking me about my marriage and my wife and stuff. And I was like, okay, wow. So what would the wife say, of the interview partners? And I love this. I will do this in the future of asking, hey, how is the partner also reflecting back on this thing? Because it's a two thing, it's
Yeah.
the self-reflection and the reflection from outside and growing with that mirror and where do I fail, where do I try, where do I learn from it. So I think this is so
Mm,
important, and seeing
mm,
us and how to say, being present with each other with exactly these mirrors we get from our closest ones, and this is
yeah.
our kids, our wives, our partners, or whoever it is, yeah, family.
Mm,
So
yeah. Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
That's that's where all the real work is done, right? I mean, it was in some book, uh and I heard I heard this via Steve Hardison, or somewhere he wrote it, or maybe it was through Ankush somewhere, but I think Steve Hardison was the source. But he said that, and it might be from a book, but there is no work greater than the work that you will do in the four walls of your home.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
nothing bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is really beautiful put into one sentence. I just had it. Somebody was asking me on the weekend a question where we have been into spiritual practice, and I said, hey, I honestly don't care too much anymore how enlightened somebody thinks he is or how awake and stuff. I ask, how is the relationship with your kids, with your wife, with your family? I'm just
Mm.
curious about these four walls, and for myself as well. All the other thing is
Yeah.
really nice mystical experiences, but this basic work, how is that? How
Mm.
loving thee? How
Yeah.
challenging? And this is where I'm now drawn into people who are resonating, who are really building this and failing and experimenting and trying it and creating something. Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. And this is why I'm curious and where I say the benchmark now. Where I am like, okay, wow, there's something to learn. Somebody really is embodying this, not
Mm.
just
Mm.
teaching it, but really living it. This is now for me more interesting than it was 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah. I
And
love
so,
that. What's been most interesting for you about this?
can you repeat what's been mostly?
You said it's very interesting for me,
Yeah.
right? Like in the last, like, yeah, so many years. So what's been the most interesting part for you personally?
In this question?
No, in this like experience, like you said, this
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah.
me now, it's really like meeting couples who
Mm,
are like on the path of whatever you call it, awakening, presence, enlightenment, and having this spiritual North
mm,
Star and creating relationship and bringing this, bridging it into relationship, into day-to-day life with your kids,
mm,
with your partnership, with sexuality, with prosperity, with creating a business, with serving the world, and bringing this together. So this is like where, yeah, where it meets. For me, it's a tantric way, also not this the yogic way, being alone in the cave and going for something which is very profound as well. But for people who will say,
mm.
I want to be in the world, like my guru in a way, Neem Karoli Baba, he had a family. He was in the world and serving his ashrams. So that
Yes,
is
yes.
so,
Yeah.
and this is for me like having humans who have walked this path longer, have like certain experiencing to share and to learn from them. How did they do? So this is really touching me. If I hear
Mm,
people talking about their kids, how they are there for their kids, that is for me some key factor of, okay, wow, yeah, yeah, really taking the
yeah.
responsibility and taking it in a playful, serious way of loving, yeah, being there. The most precious thing is for me, um, seeing a kid growing up, like unfolding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Beautiful.
And be in connection with men or women, it doesn't matter, who are doing that, who are taking really presence into that. Like when I heard you for you, family first. This is
Mm,
like, wow, it's not business first or this, no, family first, and the other thing will go around and it will fit
yes.
beautifully. And people will love
Yeah.
it and respect it because they also love doing that and not being like 20 hours a day in their business
Mm,
and neglecting their kids and family in a way.
yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
serving as a role model. I think this is so important for us to step up and being like this light tower, like you are for me like a light tower of this. Hey, my daughter and my family after 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I love that.
True. True.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I learned that the hard way, Daniel, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I worked with my father and till 10 o'clock, till 11 o'clock in the night, and there's no time.
yeah,
Forget any, I mean, you have no time for yourself, for anybody else, for nothing. It's just you have to be at work all the time,
yeah,
right? And it didn't work for me. So
yeah,
I'm glad that, I found out sooner than later.
yeah, yeah. And that's so important because you are in the business of coaching and like supporting business owners in exactly this. Hey, having a healthy balance, a healthy family relationship in time wise, their time, the most precious thing we have in a way.
Yes.
Uh,
No, absolutely. It's actually helping them realize that you could have a full life,
yeah,
right? It's not a choice. It's not like, oh, if I choose family, then I can't work, and if I choose work, I can't choose family, right? It's like, no, you can choose both,
yeah,
and you can make it all work, right? This is not an either or. There's no deadline or ultimatum here. You can absolutely marry both these worlds and have an absolutely full life, and also take care of yourself. You don't have to, just because you're at work and you've given your time and love to your family doesn't mean that you forget about yourself too, right? So we bring you in as well.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
the most important is first yourself.
Yeah.
Like the oxygen
Yeah.
mask in the aeroplane, you put first on yourself.
Yes.
You're supported, you
Yes.
can support others. If you are dying, you are not supporting anyone.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
uh, so how is it for you? Like, did you have any? like man where you when you were younger you would say, wow, that's a gentleman for me. That's someone who is like a role model or somebody who has a certain attitude or something like a quality where you say,
Hmm. Interesting question. Did I grow up around a gentleman? Um, yeah, it's nobody comes to my mind, right? I mean, there were some uncles
yeah,
that I was fond of, that I mean, spent time around, but they were my one or two of my dad's friends, one or
mm,
two maybe in family, but I never really spent enough time around them to know what life looks
yeah,
outside of like just those interactions. So they were fun,
yeah,
they were charming, and they were, I mean, they would talk to me, and like they make you feel good, special.
mm,
So I had those moments, but I don't know, like, beyond that, like what was life for them. So I didn't really come across, like, for me, like my father's generation, they were all like workaholics,
mm,
and the identity was grounded in work. There was, and there is still one of his old friends who definitely is very strong on the family front, who definitely likes to enjoy life also. It's not just work, 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 work,
yes,
right? Uh, so I grew up around him a lot, right? But um, I was my his son was my best friend, right?
mm,
So we grew up together. My interactions with him were though very limited though with the father, even though I was
mm,
around him a lot, but my experience of him was, he was hanging out with my dad or people of his age group, and I, as his son's best friend, was mostly in that age group, and I didn't get to experience all of him in terms of how he lives life, what are his values, what he's all about. But I definitely know that from my experience, and I still know him, that family was always like a priority for him, and enjoying life was also a priority for him alongside working.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah.
yeah, nice. And was there anyone like in TV or like somewhere else, not in the like the real like the surrounding, but also like far where you have been like something resonating in this gentlemanness?
Interesting. I love that question. I love that question. Anywhere far, right? I remember, like, I remember watching movies, Daniel,
Yeah, a movie.
where, yeah, and I can't remember the movie or the actor or anything like that, but I remember, like, every time a father would hug his son or
Mm,
give him a pat on the back, like, that would always make me very emotional,
yeah,
right? That would always make me emotional because I was craving that from my father,
yeah,
and I never got that from my father.
yeah.
And now I do. Now he's my best friend.
Wow.
Now we hug each other very lovingly, tightly. We celebrate each other. We tell each other in words that we love each other.
Mm,
So, but yeah, when I remember very specifically, like growing up, especially in my teenage years, college, right, young adult, that would really make me emotional a lot, right? And I would really appreciate, that man in that movie or in that role of what they were doing for their son, because that was really meaningful to me.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing. Touches me. This longing. I know this a lot. This
yeah,
longing for the father who is there, who is embar who's celebrating, who is touching, who is there, and this longing as boys of us for this male physical touch, this
yeah,
being held by a man, yeah, by our fathers or uncles or whoever it is, yeah,
yeah,
and how
yeah,
important this is for us as boys and
yes,
as men, and transforming this relationship and uh, wow, beautiful.
yes,
And beautiful how it
yeah,
transformed for you, how it shifted, how you created it.
yeah.
Uh, wow. How did you do that?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Uh, so I think this is about 7 years ago,
Hmm.
where my dad and I were always had that love for each other, but we just didn't know how to speak it
Yeah, yeah.
and live it. Um, And about 7, 8 years ago, there was a point in my life where we were going through a very difficult moment in the family business.
Mm,
Basically, we were shutting it down.
mm.
And that was like 30 years, 30, 30 to 40 years of my dad's life's work, right? And we were
Yeah.
completely shutting it down. And it was very challenging financially, emotionally, mentally, right? Like all those things. And, I was trying to find my way in life after that, because up
Mm.
until that point, it was my father who said, you know, this is how life is going to work. This is what you're going to do. And, I just had to follow the
Yeah.
direction he was giving me. So, so what happened, Daniel, is that when we were shutting it down, I remember there was a moment where we got into an argument. It wasn't like it wasn't like a fight. It was he
Mm.
wanted to do something a certain way, and he wanted me to do it exactly his way, and I was basically
Yeah.
wanting to do it my way. uh, and so we just kind of got heated up, and it was hardly a minute or two. I remember that we spoke to each other like that. But then my father got really angry, and then he sent me a message
Mm.
and basically telling me that let's not have a relationship anymore,
Wow.
right? Like you go. So basically, he said, "You go your own way, I'll go my own way."
Yeah.
And then I responded to that message. So I was shocked. I was like in a
Mm.
state of shock. I didn't know what to do, and I responded to that message, and I said, "What do you mean? Like we are not like family anymore?" Or
Mm.
something like that. I told him. He's. I'm still waiting for a reply. It's been 7 years, so but what happened for me, Daniel, at that point was I was going into the direction of coaching. I was doing a lot of inner work. I had a coach, who was doing a lot of inner work with me and helping me become a successful coach.
Yeah.
So uh, I reflected deeply on that. I called after that message. Spoke to my brother,
Mm.
Amol, in the immersion as well.
Yeah.
And we were all shaken up. We were like, what does this mean? What do we do? Like, all that stuff. But then I processed it, I reflected on this, and I realized that, you know, family is very important to me. That
Yes.
was my number one realization.
Yeah.
And I used to live in America for 8 years, and I moved back
Ah,
precise,
okay.
yeah, for to help my father. He was in a very bad
Mm.
situation in business. It was another business, and it was in partnership with his best friend who ended up cheating him. And I mean, there was a lot of like bad things that were happening.
Yeah.
So I moved back. I left my life in America, and I came back to India for that purpose. So I said, if I follow the path this man is laying down for me and for us, that no more relationship, that means I'm going to compromise on my number one value,
Mm.
which is family. I was like, I don't want to be that guy today.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's where the turning point happened for our relationship, because I had the deep realization of like who he is to me, who I
Mm.
am, what is more important to me. So even though he sent that message, I just like I was not at home when the message came. So when I reached home, I gathered all my courage. I took a lot of deep breaths, and I went to his living room,
Yeah.
and we basically, so we on two stories in the house. He's here, I'm here, right? So I just walked down to his living room, and I'm like with all courage and everything, and I go there and he's not at home, and I'm like, shit. Like all that strength, all that, pep talk and everything, now what do I do? And then he was not coming till late in the night or something like that. I don't remember. But next day I went again. And next day I went again, and I made like a decision within myself. I was like, I'm like a puppy dog. That my tail is never going to stop wagging. My tail is never going to be straight. I'm just going to keep showing up to you. I don't know anything else but to love you.
Okay.
Right? That's what he does, right? It's like it doesn't know anything. It can't hate you. It can't like do anything. It'll just loving you, right? And and sure, there are aggressive puppies too. I've seen them, but most puppies are very nice. So I chose to be a nice, loving puppy, and I said, I'm just going to keep loving you.
Mm.
And I didn't say it in words to him, but in my being, in my presence,
Mhm.
and all those things, right? That's what I was doing. I was scared.
Yeah.
I was very scared. I didn't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to, maybe he'll say something, maybe we'll have another difficult conversation or something like that. But didn't happen. And then I kept doing inner work. I kept developing myself, right? And then
Mm.
I don't know, few years later or at some point, I started saying the words to him that I love you,
Mhm.
right? First, it was on messaging
Yeah,
or on
yeah, yeah,
email, and then slowly from email to WhatsApp to saying it in person, sometimes saying it, sometimes not saying it, sometimes feeling shy, sometimes
yeah,
feeling awkward, sometimes feeling scared, right? All of those things.
yeah,
So I just kept honoring my values, and my number one value, as you rightly identified, is family.
yeah,
I mean, for me, that's like it starts and stops there pretty much, right? There's nothing beyond it. Um, so I just kept doing that, right? Because in that moment, thanks to my father, I'm so glad he said no more because it made me face my own truth. And then I was able to live that truth.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing. Wow.
yeah,
Tremendous development.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and with all the still emotions and stuff and being scared and being like shy or anything, it's still okay. No, I'm going for that because it's my the values family first and
yeah,
being love and expressing love and whatever comes up, staying with that. Wow. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
hmm. So how is like we have some more minutes like
Yes.
with your brother Amo because you said it touched me so much, like you were like inviting him for the powerful man's immersion when we meet in September, and it was me also inviting my brother to a different thing from a men's circle. He doesn't know yet. I guess he will not watch
Mm.
it here because I give it to him as a birthday present exactly 1 month. He has birthday. And he will get
Wow.
this invitation to Matthias, who is in the AHC as well, who is doing the men's circle. And I bought a ticket for my
Ah,
brother so he can be there.
oh,
And
that's amazing.
and this
Yeah.
was like for hearing from you with Amol, I was like, okay, I also want to gift my brother something of because I'm not doing it in Austria, so who else? And then I was meeting Matthias. So how
Mm.
you and your brother with this powerful man's immersion? I would love to hear a little of that. How it
Ah,
comes.
it's Daniel, it's I've been go I've been going to the immersion since last year,
Yeah,
so I've been to three,
yeah,
and I'm very close to my brother. My brother's we are very close to each other. We share everything, about life, about work, about things that are happening. And we've put in a lot of work between the two of us.
mm,
We've both done a lot of hard work at our end to reach this stage in life, where we can be the brothers we are and who we
yeah,
are to each other.
yeah,
So, so he's been going through a lot, in terms of life, in terms of work, and in terms of everything he's creating. He's an award-winning pizzaiolo, so
yeah,
basically pizza maker, right? He's been winning awards for the last 4 years, every single year.
mm,
He's like a celebrity in like the F&B in India, right? Like people who know him, they know him, right? It's like he's
yeah,
not a celebrity chef, but he's like a mini celebrity for sure. Like people know that he's the godfather of Neapolitan pizza in the country, like
yeah,
So so he's done a lot, and he's worked very hard, and
mm,
he's been through a lot, and he's still deciding to do more. So I just started, and his 40th birthday is on the 11th of September.
yeah.
And if I'm being honest, I didn't want to miss the immersion. uh,
Yes.
I I
Love
but
that.
I if my brother would have told me you have to miss it, I would have missed it.
Yeah.
So so then I think Ankush also was involved in this, and we created this whole, I think he nudged me somehow, or it happened in conversation. But I do remember Ankush playing a role. It's like that possibility got created. Why don't we do the immersion together, right?
Mm,
Um, and then it occurred to me, this is brilliant because I know what the immersion does. I know what my brother is going through. So after 7 days on the farm, or like 6 days on
yeah.
the farm and half a day outside, like let's say 7 days on the farm, he will be born a new man on his 40th birthday.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah.
that vision came to me, and I was like, this has to happen, right?
Yeah.
So, I just like a little shy, a little like nervous. I was like, he knows what I'm up to. But I started like talking to him about the immersion. And I said, but said this only. I said, listen, it's your 40th birthday. You will be born like a new man. Like all these challenges, issues you're facing in life,
Mm,
like we'll just like get it done like that in the immersion. Like I know it. I promise you it'll be the best thing ever.
mm,
So, so, it didn't take like a lot of conversations or convincing, right? Like at some point, I just remember I was like, okay, let's do this, let's do this, let's go to London. And then what happened is my family also said, okay, you know what? We'll all come to London and celebrate your 40th birthday together, right? So my parents, my wife, my daughter.
ah, wow.
So this was like, it like kind of grew from there. And then it was like, then it became more exciting for him also. He's like, yeah, I could do this, and we would all be together and celebrate his birthday in London. So that's that's kind of the backstory of how it happened, and I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to, have him in the room. It's going to be exceptional. You'll get to meet him.
Yeah.
We'll be living together for a week, all of us.
Yeah.
Um, so he's an incredible guy, very loving guy, very very giving, very generous guy, and definitely a master at his craft.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was me being a stand for him, and I just knew that the immersion is going to serve him very powerfully, and
Mm,
it makes a lot of sense for him to be in the immersion, considering where his life is and where it's going.
yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing. It's really like this brother love and stepping and creating the space, for transformation and creating space to be born with 40 years like new after this, us being
Yeah,
together on the farm, and then him having all the prep work and wow, yes. And then
yeah,
having these birthdays, that's really powerful.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you'll be one of the few people who'll get to see that
Yeah,
live
yeah,
in,
exactly. Like
in
this, yup, boom,
yes,
like this, this transformation space, in-person transformation space. Yeah,
yeah,
really. It's just like, and when I heard it from you, I was like, "Whoa, I love that synchronicity." Like having this
yeah,
6, 7 days of us, and then, boom, he has his 40th birthday, and having this step, this quantum leap or whatever shift happening. So yeah, that's really what I was like. Yeah, I love that one. I love that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yes. Okay, so we're coming to an end to conclude.
Yeah.
So, is there any gold, like in a nutshell, for you? What came out of this conversation?
I think the goal has it's two things for me,
Hmm.
right? One is possibility, which you spoke about as well, right? Like possibility of what it means to be a gentleman, right?
Yeah,
Living in that possibility, and that it's endless.
yeah, yeah.
It's really endless, right? So that's one thing that has been the goal for me, like it's expansion of
Mm,
being a gentleman, right?
yeah.
Through this conversation. And the second thing is it served me very powerfully as a reminder of who I am and what I stand for and what's important to me. And because because I resonate a lot with you, and I see that you have the same values and beliefs, that I have. And, through that, I'm reminded that, yeah, it's okay to be on this path and,
Mm,
just keep going, keep meeting men like you and others, that'll come along the way, people in the immersion. And Matthias, I've had the pleasure of talking to him, and I know
yeah,
he's an incredible father. He's so loving and giving as a husband,
yeah.
as a father, and so that he resonates a lot with me, his way of being and who he is, and how family is so important to him. So that's been the goal over here, that there's so many more of us gentle guys or gentlemen out there. And it's just it just feels so right over here.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good timing. So we have
yeah,
to
good time.
take a breathe out, relax, and let it land. All this wisdom that came in this conversation, that gold
Yeah,
that was unfolding. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. and thank you for, yeah, using your highest listening here, or whatever resonated in you, what we shared, what was shared or was spoken through us in a way of divinity expressing itself through our voices, bodies, minds, and experiences. Thank you, brother, for taking the time and being here and for sharing.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yes.